is a myth.
That's untrue. I do it all the time. But it is they say things about you like your brain can only focus so much on certain things, which I do.
That you're actually just context switching really fast.
Yes, it just depends on how good you are at that context switching kind of thing. So we're talking about this because Adrian's about to notify you all that we are live. And we were just
except for the people who are already here, because you are our true best friends.
You're the true ones.
You're the real ones.
We love you. So we are back. We're back for a regular week. We're in our normal places for this week and very excited. So this is day one, and then we'll be back Wednesday and Friday as well. And then next week we're going to be taking off. So enjoy it while it lasts. So welcome everybody, and we are going to get going. But first, a message from our sponsors. Not really.
Not
we'll
today.
We'll be back in 40 seconds. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nanish Prof and Adrian, for another episode of GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is Monday, June 23rd, and you are here with Nanish Prof and Adrian for 29 minutes of Farcaster news to start your day. And no politics, unless they come in meme form. This we will promise you.
To start your West Coast day.
To start your West Coast day. Yeah, so we're back. We're back for this week. Excited to be back. I feel like I have to explain my background because this may not be obvious because this was fairly new news this morning. But Pudgy Penguins was at opening up the NASDAQ today. And how freaking cute is that? So with Van Eck, they were at the New York Stock Exchange, or at NASDAQ, I should say. But
I feel bad for whoever is in that costume. I assume there's air conditioning, but you have no idea how hot it is in New York City today. Okay, I know you live in Florida. I know you live in Florida. Yeah. We can't. It is really hot. It is so sticky. The air is thick.
Are telling me about heat and humidity.
So hot.
Me, who lives in South Florida. Yeah, I'm aware. And it's just in time for me to go up north to cool off from the hot weather. Yeah, great.
It won't last though. It doesn't last maybe a week or a few days.
I think it was going to be a week. I think they said through July 3rd or something. But yes, the poor person in the pudgy costume, whoever you are, if that's Burko, if that's, I don't know who it is. It's definitely not Luca. Whoever it is, we feel bad for you, and hopefully you got a bonus for doing that. But yeah, very hot in New York City.
How many cartoon character? Is it a cartoon character? How many cartoon characters have been at the opening bell at the NASDAQ?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm sure that Mickey has made an appearance at some point. Has to have, I would think.
All right,
but I don't know.
Let's get our producer.
But the question. Yeah, producer. Can I? No, don't know.
You look that up for us.
Can you check on that for us? That'd be great. Thanks. Mr. Producer, I do like it when I do trivia and there's Mr. Producer in my ear. But this is the only NFT, or one of the few. There might have been, I think Boss Beauties at one point did something at the stock exchange, but they've been there a couple times. Pudgy Penguins has been at the stock exchange multiple times now, which is kind of crazy. So if you think about it, that's pretty nuts. So they've got a lock. The institutions like the Penguins. What are you going to say? What are you going to do? By the way, howdy to our friend Yes to Crypto, and I don't know if you can see my shirt, but I came home and my limit orders Guest to Crypto shirt was waiting for me. So I was very excited.
So this
I
is
am wearing it today.
Special edition matcha merch for Yes to Crypto.
Yes. And it
that
is
looks
fabulous.
So good.
It is so fabulous. I have to get a photo of it later and post it, but very excited to have my Yes to Crypto shirt, my matcha limit orders on base shirt. All right, moving on. Here's our 29 seconds of Farcaster from our friend Brad Q. 29 seconds of Farcaster. What did you miss this weekend? Jacob dropped Zora Creator Coins announcement. Many big supporters jumped on board. Jesse Pollock shared his favorites. Link in first comment of this cast. And I did miss this, so I got to go check that out. V announced that we will now see all replies that aren't spam when opening a conversation. A big change from previous filtering. We'll jump into that. Bertworth celebrated National Dachshund Day with some cool art of FC Wieners, and we had our first live Bert cam of his walk last night. Livecaster would say Angel was hopping last night for NBA Game 7, setting records with 2K plus replies and interactions, lots of use cases. Woj, .eth is ready to build. That is all. Vitalik. Wait, Vitalik's is spelled wrong. Was fighting with Grok. Oh, funny. Adrian was bullying her bot, which was also very funny. Which, by the way, was rebranded to Warpy. Ooh, we forgot to grab a cast about that. I got to grab a cast about that.
I'll sneak you one.
Normally, yeah, go find that one where you announce, because I forgot to pull that up. This week in mini apps featured Linda and Horsefacts and guest DB to talk in Tory. GM Farcaster is back, West Coast friendly time. So that is the 29 seconds of Farcaster news to start our week, to start our whole week off. Lots of things happening, and some of those things we're going to talk about now. New feature, manage muted and blocked accounts. Go to settings. This is from V, mute and block to see the users in each section. You can also undo these actions here. HD to Gabriel Oeso for a fast ship. So you can block accounts, you can mute accounts, or you can mute words, and you can change these. Sometimes things pop off and then they're not important anymore, or you blocked somebody because they were being annoying and maybe they're not anymore. Things like that. I mostly just block bots or very spammy accounts. I've only blocked like one human, I think, at any point in time. And this is regarding replies from V. We're simplifying how replies work on Farcaster. When you open a conversation, you'll see replies from everyone who doesn't have a spam label. This is a big change from today, where we apply a lot more filtering by default. If you prefer more filtering, you can go to Setting, Feeds, and set reply filtering to aggressive. This will only show from people you follow and algorithmic suggestions from Farcaster. This only applies to casts that aren't in channels, since some channels have more rules around who can reply. So very interesting. So lots more sort of flexibility and customization for your feed. And there you go with your reply filtering. Aggressive, moderate, none. Show me all the replies. So if you want to see all the replies, all the bots, all the things, you can do that as well. I have not changed my settings on this yet, and I don't know if I will. I don't know. We'll just see how it plays out. Have you done any? You haven't set anything?
No, I haven't set.
All right, we'll have to see. We'll just have to see how this plays out.
This taking a peek. I do every now and then. I do take a peek in the show more replies, and I haven't seen many gold nuggets in there. Sorry,
no, they're usually appropriately filtered, in my opinion. That's been pretty much my experience, is that the filtering that I'm getting is good, because most of the things that I see in there turn out to be like just bots, pretty much. So
and I would say for me, it's just a lot of them are just like a low quality reply. This is a low quality reply.
Yes,
just someone, like, yeah, bro, yo, bro.
Low effort
Yeah,
reply.
low effort. Right.
Yeah,
Sorry,
low
low
effort
effort.
reply.
Doesn't mean if you are getting stuck in the show more responses, it doesn't mean you're not a good person.
Right.
It just means your reply may not be something I want people need to see. So you gotta
True.
like they're very rarely like adding to a conversation or trying to talk to me specifically. It's just kind of like, hey.
Exactly. It feels like bots. It feels like an auto reply to everything kind of thing. Mostly what I'm seeing. Yeah. So it's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. My home feed is way more broad with too many new people. They don't seem real. I liked it before. So you might need to just tweak a little bit. And sometimes I have to go back and go specifically hunt some people down and start liking their stuff because I'm not seeing them in my feed. And that been happening for quite a while.
I've done that as well. There's a
hack your algo. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a recency bias in the algo. So
Yes.
it's like it tends to show you things of people you've liked recently.
Yeah, exactly. And every once in a while I'm like, this is not what I'm looking for. We were talking about this last week and I was just noticing because I was like, we don't seem to have as many people as before. And we talked about this where we're falling off on Twitter. And I do think maybe some Farcaster things are getting a little forked and blocked. So if you're on Twitter, just give a little retweet. That'd be great. I think something's going on there. Just my opinion, because it kind of happened very quickly. So, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, moving on.
Lesson in there.
Yeah.
You shouldn't build entirely dependent on a platform that you have no control over.
That's why we don't. That's why we're on all the places and it's all good. It's interesting because on other platforms like Spotify, we've seen an uptick. So that's interesting. And also because we've been adding more shorts to YouTube, we're seeing an uptick there. So it's, we go through these phases. Anyway, moving on. This was an interesting conversation from V. Should Farcaster add a staking verification system? Please reply. What this would mean, users can get a verified badge by staking $10 USDC in a contract. The stake can be reclaimed at any time, but will only release after a delay, maybe 4 to 8 weeks. Verified users will get the following benefits: badge on profile, access to video uploads, show up higher in conversations, and a small boost in the rewards program. The goal is to make it harder for spammers to verify so that good humans on Farcaster have a better experience. So my question, and I didn't get an answer from V, but I did get some comments, is the idea that spammers wouldn't bother to stake. I think it's likely they would. What are your thoughts on this? And also in the comments, if you're watching it, I'd love your thoughts as well. Because I think the idea behind paying for storage also, that was part of like the thinking is like, well, the bots and the spammers won't pay. So
they're the first ones at the door.
They're like, sign me up.
Yeah.
Take my money. I'm here to farm. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I think at some point, right? I mean, you want to add friction to make it hard for like people who are spinning up accounts just to spam harder for them.
Right.
You can't add so much friction that the real people don't also come. I've actually loved the concept of staking. I don't know how this works in a smart contract, but the idea of when Twitter was playing around with paying for premium and how do you do the concept of having a network of people who love a network, like we all share, we're network shareholders, shout out Emma and Icebreaker, but we care about this network, we're using it. Can I stake, right? So would I put, I mean, $10 is nothing. I would put more, whatever, but into an area controlled by an organization. Can they then, that's mine. Like I can take it out. So you're not, like I'm not, but combined together, $10 is nothing for 1 million people, but then you've got 10 million people. Can you invest that money?
Right.
And then can that growth of that money combined go towards funding back into making the product better? It's kind of like, how do you find ways to fund a protocol or a platform? So that concept to me is like crowdfund a little bit of money from everyone that then you can get, invest and then take the winnings to put back in the ecosystem is super attractive to me. I don't know if it's possible in a smart contract perspective. Like, I assume it is.
I don't know. I mean, there might be some way to do that. Okay, so you can do it when we're talking about Ethereum. There's lots of ways to do that, where you can put that into a smart, put it into different things like Rocket Pool or whatever. Or even nodes, like straight up staking nodes. When you're talking about it with USDC, the only thing I can think of is the ones, the places that give yield for that might work, and that would be Coinbase. So could you work with Base to create something where that could happen? Probably. But I think it just depends on the goal. Like, that to me is a whole different goal than what's being described here.
Which is an anti-spam mechanism.
Right. And I don't think it's going to help with the anti-spam. So
if it's refundable, right? Like if it's a nominal amount, if it's easy to do and it's refundable, why wouldn't the spammer also do it?
By the way, that's a really good point. The no slashing mechanic, really no downside and lots of upside. I think if you added some kind of slashing mechanic, then you might be able to unlock something there. I think that's a really good point, actually. So we see that.
And what is a slashing mechanic?
So slashing is something that happens in proof of work usually, but I think it also happens in proof of stake, where if you're not, if you're a bad actor, essentially, the other good actors on the network can slash your consensus, and then you're kind of taken out of the thing. So you end up losing your staked funds, right, if you're slashed. So, and I think there's different
versus good citizenship.
There's different processes. Essentially.
Because there's a risk here.
Right. So that if you added that to it, that's possible. So I think that's actually a really good point, MetaDavid, that if you haven't replied on V's cast, maybe go throw that in there about a slashing mechanic, because I think that is the only way that could work for that purpose.
Then the cabal could, gang up and bully people.
I know, but if you could prove that somebody is a bot of whatever, whatever the issue was, but also if you could somehow signal that, maybe it would prevent those who are concerned about this issue, then they would prevent them from, I don't know. But anyway, it continues on.
I answered V's cast.
I did as well, but I just asked a question. I didn't get an answer. What was your response? Let me see if I can find it.
I said, it's way down. I'm going to show more replies.
It's probably in the show more replies.
V blocked me. V has blocked me. No, I just said yes. My answer was yes. I think they should do it.
Okay. You think experiment? Oh, literally.
Literally, yeah. I just said yes.
Her answer was just yes.
Yes. Should we do this? Yes. Yes, you should.
I mean, I think experimenting with all these things is helpful. But I don't know that it will actually lead to the anticipated outcome. So, yeah. So there's a lot
there are definitely accounts of
the way they set up video when it came on was that if you were FID 10,000 or less, you had access to video, and then it's been pretty much ad hoc since then. I think Pro maybe now they also have it as well, but I'm not positive. Do they? I'm not even sure. But the video thing has been something they have not turned on for everyone ever. So if you are interested in getting video, what I would suggest is that you tag DWR and just say you're interested in getting video. And see if you can get that unlocked. It's not an automatic thing. So so that is an interesting point regarding staking. And the reason for that was to make it less difficult to monitor and moderate video, because video can lead to other issues. So that was why. That's why it's
And there was a
limited.
time when no one had video.
No one had video. No one
know what you
had
could do?
images.
You know what you could do now with the image carousel?
Oh, what can you do?
You can make a flip book of images if you
Oh,
need
this
to
is
and hack your
exciting.
video. I have
There
this
you
on my
go.
desk. Though you can't really see it in the video.
We can say it. That's funny. Flip book. Now we're going back to flip books. It can happen. Oh, funny, funny, funny. Okay. Moving on. So if you have thoughts on this, go drop them in there. There's a lot of replies. A lot of people have thoughts on this, a lot of feelings. So go check that out. This from Horsefacts. PSA, mini app sign-in defaults are changing. Auth addresses, quick auth, and web sign-in have been live for 4 weeks and widely adopted. We're planning to update the mini app SDK to accept sign-in from auth addresses by default. We'll ship this change 2 weeks from today on July 3rd. What this means for you: if you're building a new app, web sign-in will just work. If you have an existing, so right now, the way that works is it gives you the way it's been working, except for those who have changed over, is it will give you a prompt to then sign in with mobile. So that's if you're normally just using us on mobile, you may not even be realizing this, but if you use both, it will give you this prompt. You have to scan a QR code, that kind of thing. So all that's going away. If you have an existing app, defaults may change next time you upgrade the SDK, pin your dependencies, or update in the next 2 weeks. If you're building a client, this should not impact you. If this timeline is problematic for your app, please reach out. So if you are building mini apps, please go check this out. There's also some docs on the mini app auth that are in this cast as well, and this will be in our show notes if you are looking for it. Does this impact your mini app at all?
I guess we'll find out if it stops working, because I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think it does.
Okay.
Because I don't think our app authorizes users. It knows who you are.
Yeah.
But it's not. I didn't think I did anything, but it does know who you are. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Be really helpful to have someone who knows
Maybe,
what they're talking about on this show
maybe,
sometime.
yeah, you know.
I don't know.
Okay, and this was just a funny thing from Horsefacts. My feed at 10:30 a.m., my feed at 10:30 p.m. This was, I think, Friday. We had the career path cast quote-cast thing happening. So this was DWR's quote-cast, and then we had horny is trending. 200 Farcasters mom within the past hour. So if you missed the horny drop, if you will, King is cracking me up. He's been leaning into the thirst trap quote casting and launched $ horny. So there you go.
Did you
fun
pick
things.
up some? Did you pick up some horny?
Of course I did. I mean, why wouldn't I?
Did you pick it up before you got the note? Did you pick it up before or after you got the Farcaster trending notification?
After. I didn't even see it until I saw the trending, and I went, what? And as soon as I saw the trending, I immediately thought, oh, what did King do? I swear to God, it was my first thought. I'm like, it's gotta be King.
It was King.
It was King. So there you go. So on a Friday, and hey, like I sold a little bit. I'm back even, made a little money off of it. There you go. Nice work, a little bit of work, nice little bit of profit on a Friday night.
Yeah, so King just started recasting anyone who's posting anything that remotely resembles a thirst trap. I mean, some are just like, hey, I'm just gonna post my selfie to my handful of followers, and then he'll recast. And I don't know how he follows. I don't know how he finds them all.
I don't either. I don't know if you saw the one with Peachy with the little. It was just like parentheses. It was funny. It was a funny one. So
I did.
Yeah. It was just
yeah.
Boobs made from parentheses.
ASCII art, ASCII boobs trap. Yeah, I
Yes,
saw
it was
I saw
so
her asking
funny.
boobs.
So anyway, yeah. So funny things that happen on a Friday night on Farcaster because Christian rap. All right, moving on. And this was related from Deodad. They don't know everything becomes dust. And yet we dance. Yes, we do. And yet we love. So there you go. This is what we do. So there were some other things going on over the weekend. You may recall that Coinbase sponsored the parade that was held last weekend. And some folks thought, maybe they also sponsored the B-2 bombers. So I thought this was funny. A closer look at the B-2 stealth bombers with the Coinbase logo on them. Funny. Moving on.
I
Speaking
got
of
the
Coinbase,
vibe that not everyone realized that was a joke.
some people
But then I can't.
might
What are
have
you
missed
gonna
the
do?
joke.
Like I can't help you.
But also, this was really funny. Please no airdrop by Ben. That was really funny. Yeah, we don't want an airdrop from that. Yeah, this is a joke. This is not real. This is a joke. It was making fun of the parade. You had to kind of connect the dots to that one. And then speaking of Coinbase Wallet, this is from an Airy. We just QA'd 30 plus mini apps in Coinbase Wallet. 75% had issues. Some fully break in non-Farcaster clients. Others have small bugs, 1 to 2 buttons that don't work outside Farcaster. Some hard-coded Farcaster-only deep links like share buttons. We'll be pulling mini apps from featuring if they don't meet quality bar. If you have a mini app dev, DM me on Farcaster. I'll add you to the group chat to help you catch issues before apps get hidden for issues. So that was significant. And how, and again, I ask you, mini app developer Adrian, how are we doing? How's the GM Farcaster mini app doing?
Our mini app is killing it in the Coinbase wallet, partially because it doesn't have a ton of features. It does
That
one
helps.
thing. It does one thing very well. I think this is, best practice for mini apps. Do one thing, do it well. So it's working great in Coinbase wallet. And even I think last week I saw Sohi cast a screenshot that she was watching GM Farcaster from
That's right.
Coinbase wallet. There could be people right now watching.
If you're watching from Coinbase wallet, let us know. We'd love to know.
I wonder, actually, I'm thinking out loud, how the notifications work in Farcaster notifications versus others. And if that's protocol level or Farcaster app level, I'll have to note to self figure that out.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was like, oh, let me go check Coinbase wallet and see if I'm getting a notification. Probably not though.
But
they
it is
just
working.
added notifications. So
yes,
that was new.
And we are showing up in the trending list when we get a lot of usage, usually on days we have shows. So thank you everyone who watches us in the app, helps us with discovery. And yeah, so far so good.
All right. Very cool. So if you have a mini app, go check this out. You do want it to be visible in Coinbase wallet because right now it's just beta. There's only, maybe a few hundred people using Coinbase wallet and Farcaster, but that's going to, 20x very soon. So make sure you're ready for that. Moving on, this from our friend Jeff Goldberg. 7,724 accounts have earned Farcaster rewards to date. 32 accounts, 0.4% have earned 1,000 or more. That seemed really low to me, but okay. 850 accounts, 11% have earned 100 or more. Data from NVR's Dune dashboard that you can see here. So I was like, that's surprising because I just would have thought the 1,000 would have been more, to be honest. Because I think I'm in that 32. I've definitely earned more because I don't know. I filled out for my 600 moment a while ago. So I think I must be over that now.
I don't see you on the list. I don't see you on the
I'm
list.
not on the list though. Not on the list. So maybe
I checked
not.
if you click on the Dune dashboard, you can easily add if anyone's curious, click on the link, and you can put in your FID and see exactly how you rank, exactly
Where'd you
what
come
your
in?
worth is, exactly what your worth
exactly
is.
What your worth is.
Ecosystem.
What's your worth, Adrian?
You will know exactly how you stack up against everyone else, who you're better than, who is better than you. There's so much sarcasm in my voice right now.
Yep,
If you do not
very much
if you are
so.
new, you don't know that, but there
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I also thought I'm like, what is it? 32 accounts have
Yeah.
I'm still in the 30s. So I'm like top
Okay.
40 and I think it's about $800
Okay.
I've
Maybe
gotten.
I must be around the same. It just felt like I'm like, "Oh, that seems low," for me. I don't know why, it
You
just
and I
did.
are always so similar with our
Yeah.
casting, like, and I love when people like will screenshot us on the board because we're always
I know,
like
it's so funny. We are
around the
generally
same.
in the same place together. I'm actually much higher this week as of right now, like
Okay,
higher
me
than
too. I've been casting more. So is it because I'm casting more and,
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
casting bangers, or is this like the algorithm
It could
has
be.
changed? People are complaining about. I see a lot of people complaining that engagement is down,
Mm.
and maybe the algo has just shifted because
I just
I'm
took it
doing
as
quite
like
well
a
this week.
yeah, I did it I took it as a few things. You've got a lot of newer people coming in. They do get a boost. Um, so one of the EPT, so you are worthy. Um, so there's that. So I know that's always the case. I definitely was casting less earlier in the week because I was on vacation. I was casting, but not as much. So I thought maybe that was part of it. So I just figured it was me and not the algo, but we'll see next week if it holds up. But right now, I once said to Seneca, if I was in the 200s, I would know, just assume that I'm dead. And right this week, I'm like at 201 right now, still alive, not dead yet. I feel fine, really. Because I was really surprised how high up I am on the leaderboard, but that's, I don't think it's just probably is what it is. No big
And this
deal.
is,
And
yeah,
hello,
I think
Mr. Jeff
many
Goldberg.
such cases. Yes, just
Yeah.
been casting about
Oh,
engagement
that's a good point. That's a great point. There might be some folks who didn't,
who have
so Jeff
opted out.
who have opted out. Yeah. So Jeff said, I didn't want to give Merkel my SSN or the private info, hence so didn't want to do the W-9. Hence, I've been capped at 600 for a while now. And I think there's many such cases of that as well. So there's probably a lot of folks who are capped out, who didn't want
Yeah.
to continue on, which is completely understandable as well. And then Brad said, algo has changed significantly this week, appears to be helping frequency. Okay, interesting. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a continuous experiment, right? There's always going to be changes. So yeah, I'll have to go check out the query. So I gave them someone else's. It's funny. Yes, to crypto, I didn't want to give Oracle my SSN, so I gave him someone else's. That's funny. All right, moving on. Thanks, Jeff, for the data. Always appreciative of that. This was from Driven by Boredom. There is a way higher percentage of women on this app than any crypto event I've ever been to, and I feel like that's a pretty bullish sign. And I've been feeling this for quite a while, that there was a shift at some point. I think the estimate has been somewhere in the high 30%. There are women in this app. And then if you go to anywhere else in crypto, it's generally under 20%. So there is actual, like, it's definitely true. So I think that's definitely bullish, because the other thing to keep in mind, and I've been saying this for a long time too, when people are talking about adoption and consumer crypto, you're talking about consumer spending, 80 to 85% of all consumer spending is by women. So if you're creating consumer crypto apps, this is definitely bullish. You definitely want more women, because we just spend more money. There you go. All right, moving on. This from Mart. As promised, just in time for the weekend, a Pool Suite mini app v.0.1. Shout out my brother in leisure, Lewis King, for getting it together so quickly. Have you checked out this app? This mini app? It's
Um,
so good.
I'm debating. I guess last week I outed myself as someone who uses the Windows Edge browser, and I'm going to continue on my I'm just going to be myself and not pretend I'm cooler than I am. I don't get this app. Can you explain it to me?
It's just really cool. First of all,
What is it?
It's very retro vibes. It has music, it has a music player, it has a mixtape music player, it has videos, it has a newsroom. It's very like old school Mac style, is what I'm getting. That's the vibe I'm getting, but it's pretty cool. So you've got like the newsroom with like different articles and things that are happening. I'm not sure where they're pulling these from.
What's the Instagram? What's
Events.
the Instagram link?
I think that takes you to their Instagram. It's showing you their
Oh,
Pool Suite Instagram. Yeah.
okay.
And then you can close these windows, but these windows are opening up. You can also move them around, like within this
Oh,
mini
so
app.
it actually feels very Windows, old
Yeah.
retro Windows.
Yes.
I
Very
saw
much
Dan
so.
cast how great this app was, and I opened it and I didn't get it, and I'm
And
not.
also the mixtape is very cool. You can pick the different, you can load in a different disc and it plays. You guys aren't going to hear it 'cause I'm playing on the tab, but
Oh, something. But now
and you can
your
eject
voice.
it like a CD player.
Oh
You
my
can
God.
eject.
Okay.
I don't. It's
Remember
just.
seeing disc spin though?
I know, right? It's kind of
That
fun.
was
It's like a very
ru-
fun retro vibe, very cool mini app. So go check it out. It's pretty neat. And then you can share. I think you can do 84 Mac feel exactly. And old commercials. So you can also share the individual songs, I guess, and they become their own little sharing tool. So anyway, it's
oh.
pretty sophisticated and very cool, and you all should check it out. Um, I'm impressed at how much they fit into the mini app, I guess, is my like
Oh,
shock.
total
So
right. Remember Dan's
yeah.
cast from a few months ago? It was probably a day ago. It was probably a week ago, but years ago, when he talked about like, here's advice for mini app developers.
Yes.
And it was like 2 buttons, no more than that. Make
Yeah.
it like do one thing, make it really, really obvious what you want people to do. Like you can't crowd too much into that real estate.
Yeah.
And I love that this breaks all those rules and then it still
Totally.
gets Dan to be like, "Mwah,
Yeah.
beautiful."
Because it's
So,
really, I think if because of the design is just so well done, it
mhm.
doesn't feel overdone. It doesn't feel, I don't know. It works. It totally works. So totally go check this out. It is really, really cool. So I'm impressed. Very impressed. Well done. Really fun vibe. And by the way, I'm just like totally loving all this 80s, 90s vibe. That's like the kids are liking these days. It's kind of
Yep.
funny to me. It reminds me of when I was like, it was the 1980s and we were doing like 50s birthday party themes and stuff like that with poodle skirts. And it's like that to me is what's happening again. And you went to like an 80s
I
party or something this weekend,
yeah,
didn't
had an
you?
80s party
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Yeah. So like I don't know, there's something in the air. It's kind of funny. All right, moving on. Um, this from our friend Balaji. And I say our friend because the only reason I'm really showing this is because he quote-casted you. So Adrian had said, not
So
realistic, but I
now
really wish we could stop
now we're
comparing
friends, by the
Farcaster to
way.
Twitter. So now they're friends. Yeah, now you're friends. And then Balaji said the best thing about Farcaster is that it's an open backend that can be used to create many different kinds of front ends. The initial Twitter clone flagship app shows how to use accounts, posts, likes, a feed, and other tools. And it also packages a wallet, embedded apps, and soon DMs. Well, it has DMs, but okay. But it's only partially an app. It's really a dev kit showing the sophistication of what can be built. So yeah, and I think I've seen some different descriptions of Farcaster lately, and I remember that from I think was it Jihad's community talk? I think it was. We're talking about the entrepreneurship platform. Really, is what it
Mhm.
is, and a place to build. So yeah, and I think as we see other clients really take off, and I think we're going to see that with Coinbase Wallet, I think that's where we'll start to see this really play out, and people taking different approaches. Uno's another one, and sort of the design choices they're making. And as those take off, I think we'll start to see this play out a little bit more. But mostly just pointing this out because, you got the rare quote cast from Balaji, and that's exciting. And I know we're trying to get him on the show, so let's see if this plays out. Obviously, over the past couple months, but especially the past couple days, with the end of the NBA Finals, Bracky's been busy, and I loved this. For those who don't know, Bracky is for everyone. Over 40 languages have been used to book sports bets on Farcaster. The possibilities are huge. So this was in response to Leah saying, "Oh wow, Bracky," and then got it to respond to him in, I think it's Spanish. So Bracky can talk to you in your native language, most languages. So that is pretty amazing. And I've watched that happen a while ago where it was translating. And I think that is something that's really special, that you won't find many other places where it can do it so automatically. In other news, wait a minute, that was not the one. Hold on. I wanted to go to this. Sorry, I skipped ahead. It's 5 a.m. in Berlin. NBA Finals just ended. Sound on and video. I'm not going to put the sound on, but thunder is rolling in the background. 2 months of incredible basketball ends with a summer storm, breaking the oppressive 100-degree heat of the last couple days. Congrats, Garrett, Valiant, DGen, Chad. Good work, Bracky. So there was like a whole little subgroup of people who were just full on in the Bracky NBA universe. And it was really fun to see it all playing out. Honestly, it's very cool to see. And I loved this was from Tab. People might be surprised by this, but my Farcaster following feed is talking about the NBA Finals more than my Twitter feed. Narrative violation. And I don't think it is a narrative violation. It makes a lot of sense because of all the different tools that have been built into Farcaster that make this make sense. So including Bracky, but also live stream, having the live stream mini app where people could log in and be specifically talking about the NBA with all the people, or you can even talk about that with channels and things like that. So makes a lot of sense. And congratulations to everybody who won when they were playing around here. So very fun. This was really funny. Somebody asked, who is Bert? By the way, who can tell me the story of Burtwurst? Who is Burtwurst? When they emerged? Why everyone's posting dachshunds and tagging Burtwurst? We call those wiener alerts. Thank you. Is this a real human or a meme account? Only questions, no answers. I don't have time to investigate. And so for those who don't know the story of Bert, Brad Q nicely let us know the story of Bert. Burtwurst is a dog. He emerged around the start of the year-ish. He rode his cuteness to high places on the leaderboard his first week, but through the sharp wit, kind heart, and social prowess of Assistant 1, helping to represent this little dog with a big heart, it went far beyond that. Bert is extremely generous on FC, buys art, tips, starts crowd funds, puts big chunks into crowd funds. He designs art with the help of the robot AI, welcomes people, helps people find their way on FC. There's a lot of joy and fun. Reports on his life like walks, school, meeting new friends, human and dog, and there is a lot more than that. Bert has one of the best threads to date on how to fit in and grow an account on FC and has helped lots of FCers, especially new ones, find a home here. Shout out Bert and Assistant 1 for making Farcaster a better place with a lot of fun and joy. So just, some fun love for Bert on this Monday morning.
Yeah.
And
Bert even makes time to join live streams.
I know. Hey there, Bert.
Bert's everywhere.
I think I forgot to pull the amazing art with all the dachshunds for National Dachshund Day, and it was just fantastic. So thanks, Bert, for all the fun that you bring to the timeline. We love you. All right, a few more fun things that are happening. If you have not yet seen this video from Kyle Patrick, please go look at it. It's an AI video about whether Farcaster is real. And there's just some really funny moments in it. Like we have achieved snap chain. The Farcaster theory is real is pretty funny. So go check this out. Kyle Patrick, you killed it. So funny. It's just really well done, and it starts bringing in all these different like random AI moments of different things relating to Farcaster. So go check that out. Very funny. And this from Patricia X. Lee. Final update after slow start in the primary feeds and channels. Oh, I have to wait a minute. Let me back up. This was in response to her receiving rewards. So I received $125 in Farcaster leaderboard rewards this week because people have been willing to take a chance on a newbie's content. Now I'm paying that forward. For the next 24 hours, I'm challenging myself to like 125 casts from different Farcasters that I don't follow, have less than 100 followers, and whose cast I generally find interesting. $1 via nice per like. I'll start by browsing in channels like Welcome and 100 Club. Please send any other channels, starter pack, or user recommendations my way. And then she went through and did finish this process, which I thought was amazing. So final update after slow start in the primary feeds and channels, I looked at every person on the rewards leaderboard. Yes, I looked at the cast of 3,000 accounts today. Across my entire search, I came across 203 users I wasn't already following that have less than 100 followers. I viewed more than 4,000 casts and only found 37 casts that fit my original criteria. I decided to split the $125 reward among those 37 casts using likes with noise. Why so few compared to my goal? Ultimately, I did not compromise on my original criteria. Cast by an account I don't follow, has less than 100 followers, and I find genuinely interesting. I didn't intend to prove any point about the algorithm, and I'm not sure it does. I simply wanted to pay my rewards forward, but going down this insane little rabbit hole sparked ideas and questions for me about new user discovery here, which I'll share eventually. For now, I'll include the links to those 37 casts in a reply below. So if you want to go see those 37 people, she's done the work for you. And these are genuine people that she found interesting and was willing to tip them $1 each, or more than $1, actually, a few dollars. So pretty amazing. I love that. So that was a lot of work.
Cool. Yeah.
Very cool. A lot of work. So thank you for doing that.
So there was all proof of work.
It does require proof of work. This is a good point. Farcaster does require proof of work. So there was this whole my career path thing, and I have to say this was the only one that I really found intriguing. This is from July. Casting as not his real self. My career path: Quaestor, Praetor, Pontifex Maximus, Propraetor in Spain, Consul, and Proconsul. Of course, not talking about his actual self, but his pretend self, as noted in the PFP. So I found that very funny. But there was a whole thing about everyone's career path, and I thought about doing it for like a minute, and then I went, I just can't. It's too much. It was giving me stress.
You've got a roundabout. You've got, we used one of my favorite visuals for career path is not ladders. Like you don't think of a career path as a ladder, but a rock wall or a jungle gym.
Yeah, that feels right.
So it's up, sideways, down, you know, and I think you of all people have the most jungle gymmy of all things. Like, and
so all over the place. Yeah. So it's not, I started to think about it and I'm like, I can't do this.
I should have, now I feel like I had a missed opportunity to make a fox career path.
Ooh, quote. Would be cute.
I don't know what a fox, I mean, like, I don't know.
Could have been like one of those
hunter gatherer.
Hunter. Yeah. The hunter, like used to be part of a, ran away from a hunt in somewhere in England. I don't know. Something like that. All right. Couple more quick things that I wanted to mention before we wrap today. If you're not subscribed to our paragraph, you really should be. and this is our latest. We do a weekly recap. This is the latest. It was a double issue because it had 2 weeks worth of stuff. We only had one episode last week, so rolled it in with the episodes from the week before. And you can check them out. And you can also watch all of the episodes right inside the Paragraph Mini app. So there you go. Catch up every week and get your notifications. And also this week on Wednesday, it is game time. I am super excited. I've been loving doing trivia. It's been so fun. So join us for trivia. If you are here often watching GM Farcaster, you're going to be really good at this trivia because it is Farcaster trivia. And I will give you one other point of alpha. There will absolutely be at least one question that will be about purple, possibly two. So make sure you are checking out the purple channel and purple and learning all the things about purple. But there's also likely to be multiple questions that'll come from today's show. So if you're in the chat and you're not already signed up for trivia, you really should, because you're going to be really good at it. So come jump in there. And Adrian, that is it. Oh, I think there was one more thing. I got to pull that up. That's right. Hold on. We got to talk about Warpy.
Oh.
Because I didn't have him ready. So let me get him rolled in.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'll do some morning announcements as well. We've got we have visitors on our show on Wednesday. We have guests. The lovely ladies of Los Fomos are stopping by.
That's right. That's right.
So that'll be Wednesday. We're on at our East Coast time, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, 11:30. Nope, 11:30 somewhere else. I don't know. 8:30 Eastern, Wednesday with Los Fomos. No guest Friday, off next week, and we've got some good guests we're lining up for July.
I'm very excited. Yeah, we've got a few that we already have in the works that I'm very excited about. So let me introduce you to Warpy. So GMFC 101 has changed to Warpy. Why, you ask? This is an excellent question. So Dan casted this little guy, and I'm trying to make him bigger, but he doesn't want him. He doesn't want to get bigger for me. Casted this fun little guy, and Adrian decided that yes, this was now going to be the new mascot.
Dan said that was going to be the Warp. He wanted, that was like the Warplet mascot that the team did not approve of. So he released it to the community.
SCCO. Yes, he released to the community, and there was also somebody launched a coin. Suprio launched a coin, of course, with Warpy, with this guy, and then you decided that this was the bot's new personality. Hilarious, and he's quite cute. So there you go. And I don't know why the image is not getting bigger.
It's not.
For me.
Also,
it's very cute.
You can't do a banner image unless you have Pro, and I was like, oh, I'm ready to pay $120 just for a banner image. Dan,
it needs a banner image. It needs a banner image. And then I saw a few other people doing versions of the same little guy, and it was pretty funny. So you did one.
Oh, yes, I warplified. Yeah. I warplified my PFP. So a little lore. When I first built the bot, I named it GMFC 101 because the first version of the bot was really only trained on our Farcaster 101 curriculum. We did a 12-part onboarding series, and the bot's like sole job was just helping people onboard. It was only trained on that content. It was GMFC 101.
Yep.
Eventually the bot got access to all of our video content. And I was going to rename it. I also, Prof, I don't know if you remember this, but I was like, we need a cool personality. Like, this was back in the day. Bracky had a personality. Aethernet had a personality. Like, all the bots were cool. And I couldn't come up with like a cool mascot.
Like how you say back in the day, like it wasn't like, a week ago.
No, it was 6 months ago, so long ago. And I couldn't come up with like a cool name. So I just went like, just basic, like GMFC 101, blah. And then, and I knew we can always get an ENS later. I was like, you can always add, I didn't want to have to change the username, but I was like, we can always get an ENS and that can be its real name.
Right.
So I got the bot. The bot has a Solana wallet. The bot has a Farcaster wallet or an Ethereum wallet. It has a Warplet. It's all set up. And when I saw Dan cast that ridiculous looking monster, I was like, that's our bot. That's what I've been waiting for. And Warpy spelled IE.ETH was taken. So
it became Warpy with two E's.
Warpy with two E's.
I love that. And this was the Warplified version of your PFP, which was in response to a Warplified version of Burtwurst, which was hilarious and adorable. So there you go. And this is all, here is the original cast by Dan. The team vetoed this Warplet mascot, so now releasing as CCO. So now this is, here he is. The GM FC 101, now warpy.eth. There you go. This is who you're talking to now. Hope you enjoy. So
it's fitting.
It's fitting. It's very fitting. And it's so funny because I love it when you scold the bot. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Because it's so dumb. Like it can be so smart sometimes. And so dumb.
It's really good. It's really good.
It can be really, really good. But I asked it to tag my friend Starman and welcome Starman to Farcaster. And it said, I would love to, but I don't know how to tag Starman, tagging Starman. I'm like, and then proceeded to tag Starman 4 times in the task. And I just think it reflects. Yeah. When the bot doesn't answer well, I think it reflects on me poorly.
It's not your worth. Your bot's issues are not your worth.
It kind of is, though. It kind of is.
It kind of is. Kind of is. He's trying. I mean, he's trying. But that was so funny because he literally tagged Starman like 4 times while saying I can't.
I would love to tag Starman, but
I would love to, but I can't.
Starman.
I don't have the power. Like you literally just did it. I was looking for it now and I can't find it. You know why? Because people are really using him. They like him.
Yeah.
He's getting a lot of traffic. So that's good. That's great. Great to see. But yeah, I can't find the one with the Starman, but that was really
Everybody
funny.
Feel free. By the way, some technical information. I originally wanted to use Claude because I heard from Martin that Claude was better conversationally. But I ended up using GPT. So this is so his LLM is ChatGPT.
Oh, okay.
ChatGPT recently said that if we give them if they have access to the responses, which by the way are public anyway, this isn't like anything secretive. But if I opt in for them to be able to review the prompts and the responses, then I get free credits.
Oh, cool.
So our infrastructure costs have gone down a lot. We're now sponsored by OpenAI. GM Farca. Warpy brought to you by OpenAI.
I literally cannot find that cast.
You know what?
A lot of people are using it. This is great news. This is fantastic. I love seeing this. So many people are using them. So that's great. That's great to see. So I can't even find that one. It's hidden.
Kind of looks like people just copied my cast. They may be they might be -1s copying my cast, asking the same question.
Might be, but there's a lot of activity, and I'm surprised. So that's kind of cool.
All right, Warpy loves you too. I kind of need to give it a
Warpy.
personality, though.
Yeah, he's got a little bit. All right, that's it. That's all we got today. I think we covered it all. If we missed anything, we'll share it on Wednesday. We'll be back Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. We'll start with the news, and then we will have the lovely ladies from Los Fomos on to chat about all things Farcaster and what they're up to. And anything I missed? Also, go get registered for trivia. Also happening on Wednesday at noon. So last week we had 4 winners who got 50 USDC.
The trivia is so fun. Do you anticipate continuing trivia into July?
Not yet.
Okay.
We will definitely not be doing it the first week of July. And then I'm looking for a sponsor for the rest of July. So
Okay.
if we can get a sponsor for the rest of July, yes, we will be doing that. So working on that. I was actually thinking about, trying to find some sponsors that might change what the questions are. For example, gonna have a little chat with TLDR, see if Bracky wants to sponsor, maybe do a sports one.
Sports one.
Yeah, so things like that. So we'll be working on that. So hopefully we'll be doing July. The first week of July, we'll definitely be taking off because we're just taking that week off. So
because you guys deserve, because everyone deserves a vacation.
Can I take a vacation, please?
Yeah.
I'm taking a vacation. Damn it.
Right. Last week wasn't even. We were kind of off last week, but not really.
That was by accident.
It didn't even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was kind of by accident because we were supposed to be
duty.
on two of 3 days, and then jury duty screwed us up. So so next week is really a vacation week.
Yeah.
But before then, we'll be on this Wednesday and Friday, and we will have trivia. So it'll be a lot of fun. So come play. We'd love to see you play. And with that, I mean, I'm just going to say it right now. I would pay attention to something like Warpy because there's a good chance that he might make it into trivia.
Oh.
Just saying.
Just
saying. I might give some alpha here, people.
Who are the people who stuck around past 29 minutes?
I know. Good luck to good for you. Good for you if you're playing trivia. All right. With that, everybody, we're going to call it. And we will see you on Wednesday. And until then, everybody, bye-bye.